Hey guys, this is Will of TyBL and welcome back to my channel. This video review should have been made 2 weeks ago, but since I got sick, this was postponed until today. I have been vocal about my love for Like in the Movies in my community tab, and I want every BL lover to watch that because it speaks reality. If you haven't watched Like in the Movies yet, you can see the links on the description box below. This video will speak what my thoughts are, and I encourage everyone to have a discussion on the comment section. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I just want to start this review on my take on the music being used in the whole series, because in the first place, it's the first thing we always hear in a series. It's opening music. The selection of the background music is actually superb. The opening is such a mood setter before the beginning of each episode, and that's really a relaxing one. The other background music that was used were also good, and it heightened the emotions of every scene. Although I can't understand the lyrics of the song, the character is still present on the music itself. It's kinda rare to see a BL series to have some pretty good background music that's really suitable for each and every scene. Just like any Filipino BL series that I have seen recently, the characters used in Like in the Movies are limited. Some said that it is still because of the current situation of the country due to the pandemic, but I guess the usage of the characters is just quite right. Every character was utilized to the extent of the story, and I love that because it gives clarity and depth for the show. Unlike some BL series I have watched, this series does not establish an antagonist on a certain person. What it did was to establish some antagonistic actions even on the main characters of the show that embody some wrong mentality in the LGBT community. One good example of that is how Cole can't say the word gay to Vlad when he was asking his sexuality. Just like what Vlad said, it needs no euphemism. Some people, even the LGBT members itself, tend to attach the word gay as an insult. That needs to stop. Being gay is not like having a contagious disease. Being gay is having an expression of oneself. Next, sometimes I hate it when Judith would say that she's an ally of the community, but sometimes tend to do the otherwise. Being an ally does not mean that you know the struggles of the members of the community itself. Being an ally is to support and respect the people of that community, and not someone who's like a dictator who dictates what a gay person should be. Stop pretending and just be upfront. Another thing is how Uncle Santi was being judgmental and stereotype on his own nephew. Your actions do not tell your own sexuality. You can act feminine without even being a gay if that's where your comfort is. These kinds of actions are rampant even up to this day that need to be ended. Some members should know better, so we could have a better change for the community itself. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the characters, but just some of their actions. One thing that I like in this BL series is the Mise and Skin, most especially in episode 1. For those who does not know about Mise and Skin, it is a term used to describe the setting of a scene in a play or a film. It refers to everything placed on the stage or in front of the camera, including people. In this BL, the position of some items is actually critical to give the audience some pretty little details to add more depth to its cinematography. This is one thing that often being ignored by some shows because they only focus on one thing. Even the position of the characters in every scene should be the most accurate to give the best camera angle. Although I can say that Like in the Movies is not the best in terms of this, I would still give that to I Told Sunset About You. It's not lacking when it comes to that, and that is something worth mentioning in this review. According to the internet, plot is the sequence of events where each affects the next one through the principle of cause and effect. If that's its definition, then like in the movies would take the cake for one of the best BL for that particular aspect. The said series is a well thought BL series that is really a game changer for the whole Filipino BL industry. All of the scenes in the show has its meaning, whether it's as little as a dust or as big as the LGBT community. There was no scene that should be opted out because it holds value in the whole plot of the series. Every episode has its own story to make the whole story. Just like any aspect of my review, acting holds one of the most important in every BL series. It's as important as the plot itself of the show. Sometimes, even if the story is interesting, if the actors can't really act effectively, it's a no-go for me. Since I'm doing a review of this BL, it seems that you already knew the answer for this. The actors of this BL are definitely superb on their craft. I really can't say whether they are still newbie when it comes to this, but they really can deliver. Although everyone has a definite share on the success of the series, it all boils down to the performance of the main leads, Ian and Paolo. The two of them are both great when it comes to portraying the characters of Vladimir and Carl. I also would like to express my deepest attraction to Vlad because of his accent. That's a great contrast to Cole, which is so Filipino, which I also find very attractive. On the other hand, I also want to add on how Paolo is so great when it comes to expressing the emotions of Carl, most especially in episode 7. The mixed emotions is visible on his face that made me feel his anxiety on what the people would say to him. Anyway, all of them are great in doing their respective job. Of course, being a BL fan for so many years gave me the knowledge to be so critical on what I watch these days, but there are some times that I stop being critical and just enjoy the show itself. First of all, I really love the actors of this BL. I feel like they are the perfect cast for this one. They embody some of the real people in the LGBT community and its surroundings. Aside from being a fiction, it's also a true representation of the gay people. Next, I love the script of the series. I can say that it's a well thought script and not rushed to be produced, but sometimes, I kinda find the language being so confusing, most especially if Judith is speaking other languages. But overall, the script has its sense on the overall story. Finally, there's a lesson in each episode that's lacking in some BL nowadays. But like what Vlad had said in episode 5, we don't have to understand everything. It's not a science, it's an art. What we feel is more important. I just found out that the Philippines was hit by a strong typhoon recently, and I want to say to please stay safe in all times. Just like the protagonist of every BL series we have watched, we can also make it through the hard times. And that is my thought on this BL series. Like in the movies is not perfect, but it's a good and enjoyable show to watch. I hope for the best for the finale episode tonight. Thank you for watching. That's it, and see you on the next one.